Hey, what's up, guys? It's Topics here. It's been a while since I made a video. 9 days to be exact. So I apologize for that. There's been a family medical emergency that we've been dealing with. I won't go into the details, but it's taken me away from the game, playing World of Warcraft quite a bit, but it's also taken me away from making content. So I appreciate the patience. Sorry for the content drought. That should not continue. The content should pick up a little bit more here, specifically when patch 11.2 and season 3 drops. Not sure how much content I'll release in the next 3 weeks for the rest of the season, but definitely at the start of next season it should pick back up. But let's get into the point of this video, which is a channel update and a game update. So, not sure how many people have noticed, but this is a new banner, and I'm sure it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what this banner means. But my plan for next season is to play all the tanks, more specifically, whatever tank is the best in Mythic Plus as my main. And this video is mainly to break down why I'm doing that. I'm not typically a meta reroller or a FODM player. I've been maining Protection Warrior for the last two Mythic Plus seasons. And even before that, in Dragonflight, I basically mained one class as well. I actually used to be DPS back then, but I've never been someone who has rerolled or played Flavor of the Month. And I'm not, there's nothing about rerolling that's attractive to me, to be honest with you. I do like class fantasy. I do like, mastering a class and staying loyal to a class. But after I break down my reasoning, hopefully you guys can understand. Not meaning for this video to be very long, so let's just jump right into it. So this is my Raider.io page. I achieved 3686 this season. The reason why I say achieved, even though the season is not over yet, is because I'm most likely done playing or pushing keys on my main for this season. I reached 18 Resil and got a couple 19s. Unfortunately, did brick Workshop, Rookery, and Cinnabar Meadery on the last boss, so I'll say I was a hair away from being like 37-20 or something like that. But either way, it's still short of title. Um, it's been hard because I didn't play with a team most of the season. I think I played with a team maybe 3 to 4 weeks. Then there's another group of friends I played for like 2 weeks. So maybe 6 weeks out of a 6 month long season, I actually played with a team or an organized group. Other than that, it was all pugs. So I'm actually pretty happy with this, all things considered. um, Especially when I get into what my hours breakdown looks like, which is going to lead into, why I made this decision to play all tanks and the best tank specifically next season. So, keeping in mind, this is what I achieved playing only one tank and literally dumping all my time and resources into playing one tank. This is what I achieved, okay? Um, I know it's 3 weeks short of the season, but just keep that in mind. So as we move on to this little sheet I made here, you can see that I just wanted to break down for you guys kind of what my time looks like in the week. So, I'm a husband and father, full-time job, and I have extracurricular activities on top of that. So my time is limited, and I probably get about 4 sessions per week. This is give or take. Obviously, there's weeks where things are going to be a little bit more slow IRL, and maybe I'll get a fifth session in, or maybe it's busier and I'll only get 3 sessions in that week. But typically, I've been playing about 4 times a week, historically, if I look, and I get about 4 hours per session. If I'm playing in the evening, it's usually something like 9 p.m. till 1 a.m. CST. Um, and then, I'll sometimes get like a weekend afternoon session or sometimes even a weekday session. I'll be logged in if work is slow during the day. Um, but that results in 16 hours a week, which is 960 minutes. And if you think about what you can do with 960 minutes in M+, the average length for an M+ key is about 35 minutes. Some are a little bit longer, some are shorter. You can add 10 minutes on easily for talking about your routing or strats or talent builds, especially as you're in high keys. And then you can add another 5 to 30 minutes to form. So, you know, if you log in, your team is basically immediately ready to go. It might only take a few minutes to form, or maybe you have some friends that you're planning on playing with, even if it's not a full 5 stack. or maybe you're sitting in LFG for a half hour. It's pretty rare to sit in LFG as a tank longer than a half hour, so I don't really remember too many cases of myself. If it's longer than that, I usually just log off, to be honest. But so keeping this in mind, it's about 45 to 75 minutes to do one key. 45 minutes if it's extremely fast, 75 minutes is on the long end. So my best case scenario for keys in a week is 21 keys. Okay, that's 960 minutes I have in a week divided by the fastest key that you can pretty much do. Or the worst case scenario is the amount of time I have in a week divided by the longest it usually takes for a tank to form a key. So I'm going to get anywhere between 13 and 21 keys in, okay? A couple other factors to keep in mind are, this isn't including raid. I mean, I probably am still going to at least have to get AOTC to help myself gear up and to get crests and some items early on. This also isn't factoring in, especially the start of the season, campaign quests, story quests that are required. Sometimes there's a farm that's required for an item. Also mid-season, at the 0.5 patch and the 0.7 patch, we've seen that Blizzard likes to put in item boosts and additional content that you have to grind and do. So that's not including that, right? So the likelihood of me ever hitting 21 keys in a week, very low. It's probably going to be closer to this, which, 13 keys in a week, as you're pushing high keys, at least half of that's homework. Which means I'm probably only going to get 6 to 7 shots at an IO key a week. Are you going to time all those? No, you're not. So you guys are kind of seeing the picture. This is pretty much why, even playing one character to the furthest extent, I was not able to get title. Now, it does not help that I'm off meta, which is basically why I'm making this decision to play every tank, and more specifically the best tank. The main reason I play World of Warcraft is Mythic Plus. It's the thing I like the most. I don't even know if I'd play the game if Mythic Plus was not in it, to be honest. I really like that content. It's competitive. I enjoy pushing high keys. And with the time constraint that I have and trying to challenge myself the most, I need to play the meta tank. I cannot be waiting in LFG for groups. I cannot be taking half of the season to actually find a team just because there are not very many physical comp teams out there. I need to be able to get a team early on, or at least be able to make very fast progress early on to be efficient with my time. Otherwise, title becomes pretty close to impossible. There's not very many off-meta tanks that get title, and the ones that do usually have had teams for a long time or have a team to start the season. Or they're in like a mythic, or they're in like a Hall of Fame mythic raid guild that has very, very good players they can just form with immediately, but that's not me. So I made the decision, for myself that I need to play whatever tank is good. So that is TBD still because, PTR is out. There's still testing going on. I'll just tell you that it does not look like it will be Blood DK or Bear. Those two tanks are so far behind. Even if they got like damage buffs, I still don't see them. Even if they got damage buffs or defensive buffs, I think just the dungeon pool and the mob control needed and the specific type of utility, they're pretty far behind. So it's probably going to be one of these 4 tanks: VDH, Brew, Prot Warrior, or Prot Paladin. All of these tanks have kind of fluctuated up and down. Prot Paladin's really gotten a lot better recently, so these are the 4 that I'm pretty much prepping right now. Prot Warrior is already ready, so I'm basically spending all my time the next 3 weeks prepping the other 3 tanks. At least getting them, they're not going to be BIS. I'm just at least getting them to a reasonable enough eye level where I can, farm M0 dungeons for the first week and get them ready to go into Mythic Plus. So, I see we're almost at 10 minutes. That's basically all that I wanted to talk about, you guys. I'll still be making content on whatever tank I'm playing, posting my gameplay, posting commentaries, having general WoW discussions. So if you've been a subscriber or a follower so far, I thank you for that. And hopefully I can keep you as an audience and a subscriber moving forward. But that's all. Enjoy the rest of the season, and we'll see you guys in patch 11.2. Peace out. Big shout out to all of the Patreon subscribers. It's because of you that I'm able to continue making World of Warcraft content. I really appreciate it.